We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening?
What's going on?
Well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, bro. A lot of stuff to talk about, man.
We do. We especially got to talk about this.
Listen. Let's get the music going right now. Let's get the music going and politic this, man. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock.
Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Can you dig it, sucker? Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers Facebook and YouTube page. Ace Kennedy, let's kick it, bro. Let's politic it. We got some things to talk about, bro.
Yeah, you know what we need to talk about though?
What's that?
The boy Rory and Maul been listening to our show, bro.
Okay.
I was listening, peeping them out, and they guess what they was talking about?
What's that?
Indian giving.
Stop it. Stop. What?
They was talking about Indian giving. They was like, bro, we said some pretty interesting things growing up. I was like, bruh.
They late. It's too late. You can't listen, bro. You can copy the content, but you can't copy the format, bro. Like, that's what Smacknum say. Smacknum always say, you can copy the format, but you can't copy respect. Whatever, though, man. That's funny.
Yeah,
that is funny, though.
Yeah.
Brittany, bro, I see you already. What's happening? Listen, man. We got some things to talk about. I don't even want to talk about nothing else until we talk about these awards, though, man. Because they say, what Drake said, they don't make awards for this, trophies. Apparently they do. What we doing, Ace?
Bro. Oh, dang. Appreciate that, Brittany Rose. She said she told the boy Razby to check us out.
Hey.
So, yeah. The Taché Awards went off this past weekend, and your boy was, we talked about it on the pod. I told you guys that I was nominated for Male Artist of the Year. Had no plans whatsoever of thinking that I would win. Like, just be, it's one of those things that I'm not in that space like that.
Now, when you say in that space, you mean what?
Meaning that there's a whole host of younger R&B artists here in the city, like that are doing stuff. Britney Rowe kind of was in that whole thing when she was out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like when I was in Meant to Be, we was the top dogs. You know what I'm saying? Infamous had just kind of broke up. The boy Nitro was out here. He was running the city. And then after that was us. Like, we was the ones putting Oklahoma on the map, performing places, doing these college tours, performing for any big artist that came in the city. Like, that was us. So when I went solo,
and by the way, shout out to them because they still are doing their thing, right?
100%.
Okay.
I talked to Deli a lot. I talked to Trey here and there. We kind of bump into each other. So no. No disrespect. Hey, shout out to them boys. They doing their thing. They just released a song here the beginning of August. Shout out to Meant to Be. Nothing about that. All I'm saying is is that when I started out as a solo artist, I went back down to the totem pole. Like I'm performing in clubs, 3-4 people, didn't matter. I was, my motto was 5 or 5,000.
5 or 5,000.
Didn't matter. I was performing the same. So when I say I've been doing my thing, but I've not marketed myself for Oklahoma City. I've always marketed myself globally because that's the brand that I'm going for. So, the first year that Tashay did her awards, the Tashay Awards was in 2017. And so the thing was that.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, it's easy to market yourself internationally when you have an internationally known songwriting award-winning partner, by the way.
This is right. This is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to that though.
We did take third place in the international songwriting competition. We did take third place.
International.
Yes, international. I thought that was dope. So yeah, all I'm saying is that I went back to the bottom of the total pole, performing in hole in the wall clubs, doing this, doing that, and so I built myself up. I had perks when I was meant to be. We did do, I was able to sing the national anthem for the Thunder, for the Hornets, for all of that when I was with meant to be. I had to find my own contact. Somebody put me on, and so now I'm doing the national anthem again. Like things are happening. So when I say I'm not in this space, I don't raise my hand for every show that pops up here in Oklahoma City. I keep my name out there so people still know that I do music, but for the most part, I'm working on a global brand. I'm not necessarily looking to take over Oklahoma City. Right. So with this award, I am super appreciative that to even still be considered one of those artists here that would even get the nomination, let alone to win the award.
For what's a very independent local award, and you're not marketing yourself as a local act.
Right. 100%. And I'm not diminishing the Tashay Awards because this girl, Dalia, put her own money up and put these awards together. She has a radio show that she's been doing for years. She knows a lot of the artists in the city. Like she does big things. She not
tapped in. She is
very tapped into the city. She knows the ins and outs of the artists, this, that, and the other. So it's not to diminish this award. It doesn't matter that it's the Oklahoma City Award. The thing is that the fact that, again, that I'm not marketing myself for the city and to be nominated and then to win was a big deal. And there were a lot of, man, when I tell you, there were artists I've never heard of before that were there. All of the artists was great. The music was inspiring. Like, it was like, yo, just getting my wheels turning. Like, okay, I gotta be better. Like they always talk about music as a young man's sport. And I'm just like, man, I gotta tap into these young kids and not necessarily mimic anything or whatever, because I still think what I'm doing is valuable. I still pick great beats. We still write differently, but the fact is that the music is still moving. And like I said, because she didn't pick the winners. She sent the music to judges, and they judged, and this is the outcome. So super grateful for the award. And yeah, it was quite the honor. And it lets you know that things is moving in the direction we wanted to go in.
Now, what music, by the way, was put out there?
On My Mind.
Hey,
the awards said, the awards, the song that was nominated was On My Mind, and it said winning. My nomination said Ace Kennedy featuring Charlie Venus. So that's why I humbly accepted our award for winning Male Artist of the Year for the Tashay Award. So
that's fire, dude. That is fire. Yeah. I'm mad because I don't have my there we go. Because I don't have my air horn. I don't have my shots. Nothing right now, though, bro. But that is dope. That is dope. I was happy for you too, though, man. Because when I saw it, I didn't even get a niche. I don't even know how I even missed the tag, but I didn't catch it until like 2:00 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have to reply back to that in the morning, though, all the way when I'm awake, though. But that's fire, though, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
she had it. She had it. I have to give her props though, because like I said, she put her own money up. Like she paid for all the trophies. You know what I'm saying? She rented out the venue, had the red carpet. She had the photographers, the videographers out there. So the boy was extra fresh on the red carpet. The thing was, I didn't get as fresh as a lot of other people probably did because of the fact I knew I was performing. That was the other thing, I was performing that night too. So, and then they put me right after Soul and B. And Soul and B is one of the hottest artists here in Oklahoma City. She puts on the show. She always got background dancers. She dances herself.
okay.
And you know, even the host was like, yo, you coming up after her, bro. That's gonna be a hard act to follow. I said, as soon as I got on stage, I said, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I ain't doing none of that. So y'all gonna get these vocals, and that's what y'all gonna get.
Go get these bars in. Appreciate them there.
Yeah.
That's fire, dude. Listen, I gotta be honest. And the fact that I'm featured on it, right? If this was a Grammy, it counts. It counts. Listen, it counts, right? So no, that's
so you the male artist of the year too.
Listen, bro. First, let me thank God. Yo, man, that's dope. That is fire, though, man. That is fire.
I'm grateful, bro.
That's good, man. I'm truly happy for you, though, bro. Very much so.
I think for me, it was more so to the experience, right? Because it's like, again, we red carpet event, like, and you know, it's always that thing, like once the stuff like that is over, then you go back to reality. Like, I got a pile full of laundry I need to fold up. Like, quick, you know what I'm saying? But and I like staying humble like that because it's one of those things. Like, I do get to do incredible things. I am grateful for the things I get to do and what music has brought me, because it's something that I love to do. And the fact that I get to perform in these places and get to do the things that I get to do to expose my kids to things that they will never forget because of music. That's what keeps me doing what I do. And so the fact is, I may not release music how people want me to release music, or the quantity that they want, but the quality of the music is always there because we take our time. We have real lives, and you know, we are internationally known, and we are the Slash Brothers. We're on the podcast,
and we are independently, and everything is independent. So listen, that in itself is the part that I think that I appreciate about like when we talk about, I think you and I mentioned it before, but like, I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about artists like a Tory Lanez, right? The fact that he's on that level at this point and is independent. And mind you, he was signed before and everything like that. But I think that the fact that even throughout all of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate independent artists even more now than I may have in the past. So no, absolutely, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, because I mean, it's hard to be independent because you have to make them decisions.
You make everything.
But when we decided to go independent, we went all the way legit. There was a moment in time we had the crack version of this, the crack version of that. Everything we got now we own, and so that's what's dope. So yeah.
So Brittany, that's a good question. She said, "What happened to Macklemore?" And I think that what's interesting about Macklemore is that I've always thought Macklemore was an equivalent of a touring act, right? So there are certain people who, to me, like Erykah Badu, right? She's a touring artist, right? She makes her money from touring, right? There are a lot of those. I've always thought Macklemore was an equivalent to a touring MC, basically. But I think that that's also a point that if he's independent and he won the Grammy, like it takes some money to get behind you for promotion and marketing and all of this stuff. And so when you don't got that engine behind you and you got to do it yourself, you need that. I see why some people would rather, you know what I'm saying, need that, defer to that push, basically, though. So which would be another thing, though, right? Because we talk about independence, like that would be like, what if Drake really went independent, right? Because at this point, right, I mean, you know, let's just say that when it comes from a music perspective, right? I mean, I don't know what his master's, ownership situation is. You know how they say it is with Cash Money and everything. But I think that what's interesting about it though, man, is that, if Drake, let's say if Drake went independent right now and he had ownership of all of his music, right? 100% ownership of all his music though, man. Then it's like, all right, well, Drake is big enough to where, you know what I'm saying? Like, does he really need the engine, or does he still defer to the engine so that, maybe he can focus on just being the artist instead of the business? I think that's the part where being independent, you can have it take away from your creative part because you're also heavily focused on the business until you get to a point where you have the people who take care of the business while you focus on the creative piece of it though. So still music business at the end of the day.
That's right. It's 20% music, 80% business.
Yeah. So hey, listen, man, a lot of stuff going on though, man. Politically, politics. Let me kick it with you real quick. I want to get your. So before we hopped on, I thought that it was interesting that as soon as we get ready to hop on, they say Texas Governor Greg Abbott tests positive for the vid, and then apparently he was vaccinated, so he has very minimal, symptoms and whatnot. But then it goes back to one of the things that you and I talk about, is that you can be vaccinated, have the vid, and then because you vaccinated, you might not have the symptoms, pass it to somebody else. So all of the people who he had been around with over the last little while, they had to contact them. They made it sound like he had an STD, and they was contacting the last 5 people you had sex with, bro. So I think the thing is that is there irony, right, in the fact that Greg Abbott was one of the ones who jumped out the window and said, nope, we ain't requiring no mask. Nope, we ain't doing this. Nope, we opening up everything. Texas has already been one of the high, new cases states, along with the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Floridas or whatever, though, man. Is there some irony in that, though, man, built in there somewhere?
I don't think it's irony, bro. At this point, I think everybody has either had COVID or has been exposed to it. It's inevitable. This is something that I said back in the very beginning when this stuff was going on, that it was going to have to get worse before it got better. Either people were going to build up immunity or people were going to get vaccinated. And like you said, that's the thing. I had a discussion with a young lady this morning who we were talking, and she was like, it's people like you that don't get vaccinated. That's the reason why. I said, no, time out. First of all, I'm sick of people who are vaccinated looking at unvaccinated people as though they're lepers. This is my thing, right? The fact that people are vaccinated, you have become the super spreaders, because just like you said with Governor Abbott, you get little to no symptoms. So you can pass it along and have no clue. And I guess the vaccinated folks then will say, well, then you should have been vaccinated. So then if you're exposed, then you wouldn't have as many symptoms, this and the other. It is okay. It is okay for people not to want to get the vaccine. It is okay. If people are looking at the FDA, if the vaccine was that safe, why isn't the FDA approved it yet? We've been had it for how long now, and it's still
they approved of the 3rd shot though. They
are recommending.
They are recommending or authorizing
it. They're making, what they're doing is that there's an emergency approval for the vaccine, which is why we were able to start getting it, but it's not approved yet. It's everybody keeps saying, oh, any day now, because it's not approved yet. They want people who have autoimmune suppressed syndrome, disease, autoimmune affected folks to get the 3rd vax. That's what they are recommending. But the point is this, though. People need to stop with the fact that, listen, if you don't feel comfortable putting that vaccine in your body, it is okay. But what's happening, even in my own job, and I'm not going to stay on this long, but they're not making it mandatory. What they're doing is putting things around stuff to make it
they're ushering you to do it
100%. 100%. So and to the podcast, understand this. You know how I feel about the vaccine. Unfortunately, I am vaccinated. I did it for my daughter. My daughter is a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old girl who attends a junior high school, and so she was afraid to get it, and so I told her if she would get it, I would get it with her because I wanted to make sure that she wanted to do it because she had no real objection to getting the vaccine other than she was scared of needles. So I did that.
Have to throw on the dad cape.
Right, right. So that's what I did that for. But I still believe 100% in the way that I felt about people who don't want to get vaccinated. And I still feel the same way about the vaccine. That's the way that I feel. But you make the choice for yourself and your household on how you choose to be safe. Because at the end of the day, we've all either been exposed or you have had COVID before. And the thing is this, the vaccine does not stop you from getting COVID. See, like these other vaccines like MMR, chickenpox, those are done, right? But we're talking about a vaccine that just basically blocks you from getting the worst symptoms. And again, if that's what you feel will help your family, do that.
So this is my problem. Like, I think that I am somewhere in the middle. I'm not anti-vaccinations. I'm not pro vaccinations as well, right? I do think that at the same time you have to make the decision that you feel most comfortable with to protect you and your family. That with that being said, the things that I have a problem with, right, are okay. The first thing I have a problem with, I was ready to go ahead and get vaccinated. I was ready to go ahead and slide, and I even made my appointment. And then that morning, I look on and I see the little, notifications, news break, and it said that the FDA is approving or recommending the third shot for immunocompromised people, right? Certain ones, right? And so I had this epiphany because, with me, it's like when it comes to those life-changing decisions, as much as possible, I'm somewhere where there's an overlap. Where for me, this overlap is where my head and my heart meets. And when I make those decisions, it's probably why when I get buyer's remorse, somewhere it's not quite synced. It is close, but not quite there. But I was almost there with getting vaccinated. And then I saw that. And then I was thinking like, well, wait a minute. If you approve of a third shot for certain people, right? You're approving it. Are you approving it because you're saying that it does work? And it maybe, right, that they're saying in order for you to get the FDA stamp of approval, it takes 4 years of research or whatever their standards are. And because this is so new, that based off of their strenuous standards, that they just can't in good faith give it the stamp. But that also means that, are you saying that doesn't mean it doesn't work? Because if you're authorizing a third shot, are you also low key in a roundabout way saying that they actually do work? And so for me, it felt almost contradictory that you would authorize it, right? That you would recommend it or whatever you want to call it, but then you don't co-sign it as an entirety, right? Like that's holistically, that's the problem that I had. And I was ready to go ahead and go in though, bro. I had already had my mind made up and everything. And that just it didn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And so I had to go ahead and I had to get off of that because I was like, all right, let me just take a step back here. And now I'm back at ground zero to where you got to build up my trust all over again to get it. You got to, it's all, but I do think that it is interesting though, that Greg Abbott, someone who has been, who have accused of also politicizing COVID, right? And then here it is that, he is a staunch supporter of no mask, whatever. And then boom, you get it. And it's like, all right, well, you got it. And I understand that, he was vaccinated. I'm not saying he was ever against that, but I guess I'm just saying that, usually you think that certain people who are anti-vaxxers, that they basically. Let me ask you this though, bro. Let me ask you this. So we used to always think like, all right, if you don't wear a mask, this is what we used to think. Well, masking was the first big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always assume that there are exceptions, but I used to always assume that if you had a problem with wearing a mask, or if you didn't wear a mask out, that you were a Trump supporter. Right? That was always my assumption.
So,
like
so you was politicizing it too.
I was politicizing it because I was like, all right, you must be a Trump supporter.
Even though you knew that I wasn't a mask.
I knew why you didn't.
Right.
I knew why you didn't, but I knew why you didn't. I know why you preferred not to, but I also knew that you would do it if those places would. But for those people who were just so against doing it, I'll automatically assume they were Trump supporters, right? So then I'm also like, I don't know where vaccinations, what side, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you. People who are pro vaccinations seem very much like Trump supporters, but then people who are against, people who are for vaccinations come across like Trump supporters, but then people who are also against vaccinations, I would think that they're Trump because because people feel so emotional and strongly one way or the other. And for me, because I'm in that gray area. I was in that gray area politically when it came to Biden and Trump, right? I was in that gray area where I was like, all right, I kind of, politically speaking, I'm not quite Democratic, but not quite Republican. I'm somewhere in that little delta, that good spot. It's almost like I'm the spot where, if you got baked beans at a barbecue, the baked beans and the macaroni, and right when they touch, there's some magical happen when the baked beans and the macaroni touch. It's that good taste. That was me. So I don't know, man. But now I can't tell who's who.
But see,
I can't tell who's the heroes and the villains when it comes to vaccinations.
But that's the whole thing. For me, even before being vaccinated, I was not against anybody getting the vaccine. Just don't bring your ideology on me.
Facts.
That's my thing. That is my thing. Do what you do. If you want to get it, great. If you don't, great. But leave me alone. Don't tell me. Do not tell me how I should think or what, and I hear people say, oh, it's the unvaccinated folks that are filling up the hospitals. That is not true. Everybody is filling up the hospitals.
Well, what about the vaccinated folks that are passing this on to the unvaccinated folks who then fill up the hospital? So there's a ripple effect, right? Where is your accountability in this bigger picture as well?
But here's the thing, though, right? This is what people got to understand. It's not the vaccine or getting or not getting the vaccine that's sending you to the hospital. It's your pre-existing conditions that's sending you to the hospital. So the thing is that, and to Britney's thing about the vaccine not being a cure, it's not a cure, but it also doesn't do what like you said, you compared it to one vaccine, which was the flu shot, which everybody knows a lot of times when you get the flu shot, you don't get might not get the strain that's out affecting people. I stopped getting flu shots after I left the military because that was one that they mandatorily made us to do. And that's the thing. I was in the military. I got immunization.
Shout out to the boy Chad Mack just pointed out, military about to make everyone vaccinated.
100%. They're going to treat it like a flu shot.
You done already got everything in the military injected in you before.
Right.
I figured that the military figured like, what's one more? But here's one other thing, though. That is one thing to consider, right? Because see, this is the thing about it. I think the reason why you can't tell, when I said you can't tell who are the heroes and who are the villains when it comes to vaccinations, because I do believe very much in pro-choice, right? But I also think that you look at it when people think about how safe this is. Like if you're going to mandate that the military, right, that you as someone who's enlisted have to get it, you have to feel some level of comfort that this thing is effective, or that it's not going to impact you adverse to the point where we can't get you to bounce back. That's all I'm saying. Like to recommend it for half the population who's vaccinated, and then say, well, we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to say the entire armed forces who is trusted to defend us is going to have to take this vaccination. Then it's like,
yeah, but they do that stuff though. They do that stuff to encourage others to do it. Like just like with the athletes.
True.
Just like with the presidents, like people that are public figures that they put in front of the cameras to get the vaccine, it's to motivate the regular Joe to get it. And here's the thing, though, right?
The Falcons are 100% vaccinated, only team in the NFL.
Great, but here's my problem, right? The way that they are forcing people to get this vaccine concerns me for the future of whatever else they want us to do.
That is my problem. That is my problem. So my thing is that, to me, when you have to incentivize people, like I saw some people again, they were offering to get earbuds and AirPods, like, bro, like it's you make it available, you put the information out there, and I think that's it though, bro. Like, but I'm not. I'm very much pro-choice on pretty much most things though, bro. But I do have a problem though, man. Is it really going to be that easy, right, for them to ultimately have us all fall for some mass? Maybe it makes my mind wonder though, bro. Like, what else could they be doing or planning? Like, is this the tip of the iceberg? And then if that's the case, so what else do they feel like, if this is successful, we can easily have them do this?
Yeah,
right?
That's where you start moving into them for real in real life, the chips that they have been talking about. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So listen, we were talking about the military. And she said you'll never travel outside the U.S. I just traveled outside the U.S. not vaccinated 2 months ago, Brittany Rowe. You just have to test negative coming back into the States. And I have been looking that up. There are more countries. Aruba is one who will not allow you to come in unless you're vaccinated, and more countries are doing that as well, though. But listen, we were talking about military. Now, blew me away, right, that we actually pulled out of Afghanistan. This was huge, though, bro, because it's like I've my entire lifetime, I've always thought when it came to Afghanistan that earlier on we had beef from a distance with Afghanistan. Then we became more and more active in around 2001. 9/11 happens, right? And I'm thinking about that because 9/11 is coming sometime soon. We're like less than a month away from 9/11. Still remember where I was on the day 9/11 happens. And so we originally went to Afghanistan, and I think it was that we were going there because we were trying to get Brittany Rowe. That's a long comment there. I want to read that, but my Lord, you could have just came on to say that. But listen, we went over there because we wanted to say, this boy he's responsible for bombing the trade towers. We got to go ahead and bring this. We want him to see justice. We gone over there, and we've been over there for 20 years now, right? And the big thing is that when we went on over there, it was very much where Afghanistan and a lot of those other countries over there follow Islamic governing styles for forever. It's been that way forever. But it felt like when we when we landed in Afghanistan, that we basically were implementing a democratic style of government on over there, bro. And so what's crazy about that is that, Joe, even 45, to his credit, said, no, I'm pulling troops. Joe Biden comes in, says he's pulling troops, starts pulling troops in May. And they pull fine. He said invaded was the right term. I didn't want to disrespect anybody who, I know a lot of military folks. So I didn't want to get out of pocket and say invaded, but invaded was right. But Ace Kennedy, we pull troops and we start to pull American personnel, embassies, all of this, right? And we're trying to get people out of there. And people are fleeing Afghanistan left and right in fear, absolute fear of their lives, though, bro. And what's crazy about that, Ace, is I saw that they were at the airport. It's now armed with Marines out there, right? To get the rest of the Americans and get other, essential personnel and everything like that. I think the president of Afghanistan already got out of Dodge, right? I saw a video, disturbing. Boys are trying to get out there so bad that he was hanging on the airplane. Airplane takes off, and apparently he's still on the plane. And I'm watching this video, and the guy just falls from thousands of feet in the air, bro. And the part that I was tripped out on the most was the fact that, geez, you mean to tell me that aside from you mean to tell me that there was somebody there, a person there, that has you that afraid for your life that you would risk trying to, from the out, like, people been watching Fast and Furious.
No,
James Bond.
They've been watching Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise has dove in from another plane to get in another plane.
He was hanging off the side of the plane.
He was hanging on the side of the plane. That's right. I've seen Dom come into the back of another plane on Fast and Furious. And so I'm just thinking, like, but even with that said, though, bro, these people were scared for their life. And it's just like, wow, I'm not sitting here trying to say, Ace Kennedy, that I will whoop anybody, right? I've seen enough UFC fights to see somebody who, if you put them in plain clothes, they would look like the average Joe, and they didn't knock somebody out. I'm not the biggest and baddest, but I've never feared any person in my life to the point where I was willing to run from them, one, but then also feel like without the protection of somebody else, that I might as well just kill myself. Right? I've never been that desperate in my entire life. So to see that, bro, it really talks to the kind of fear that the Taliban has over those people, though, bro. Have you been keeping up with that, though, man?
I've caught a little bit of it. Obviously, I saw the video, which was, terribly unfortunate. And it is probably the one time that I am grateful that I'm no longer in the military, to be, wondering how to deal with something like this. My thing is that, like you said, I was in the military around the time of 9/11, could tell you where I was, all of this, that, and the other, and even deployed at a time. And it's one of those things, man, like, I don't know which side is right, and glad I don't have to make that decision, because for somebody who was deployed and to not know when you were coming home, that's scary. And to be in another situation, be in another country that you don't necessarily have the jurisdiction, scary. To have people stand outside of your base throwing rocks at you because you shouldn't be there, scary. Like there's to have to inspect people to come onto the installation because some other entity is paying them to do damage or harm to you, scary. So for those people who have been deployed or this, that, and the other, I understand why their families would want them to come home. This is something that we've been talking about for a very long time. And people are going to nitpick on how they think we should have did it and why we should have did it and this, that, and the other. But at what point where do we need to step away from a situation that doesn't involve us? And yes, but then to pretend to not look at the other way, knowing that these people can't defend themselves for someone who is deciding how they're going to run business. Like Britney said, for people who have helped any American, they kill them or like there's so many things that you have to look at. And like I said, to the people who had to make them decisions and to actually start doing that, this is literally a rock and a hard place.
Listen, I think that one of the things that, so I'm on the fence with this one again. And here's the reason why I'm on the fence with this. I'm on the fence against this because I don't believe I don't believe that we should be the world police, right? I don't believe that in with us being the world police, I don't feel like we as a country should be able should be forcing our ideologies on another country, another geographical area. They've been living this way their entire lives. This is the law according to them, right? And it's been that way since before the United States was ever a country. So I don't think that it's our place necessarily to come in to another country and say we don't do things like that in the United States, so y'all shouldn't either. That's the first thing that I look at. I understand that we invaded Afghanistan because you know what, y'all hiding Osama bin Laden. We here to get him. You know what I'm saying? That we gonna be here as long as it takes until he pull up. We there, right? I get that. I get that completely. But I also think that, all right, you know what, we got him. I don't think that because we don't just I'm against just jumping into another country's way. That would be like that's literally like if Canada, right, just say, you know what, man, I don't like the way y'all doing certain things, right? So we gonna slide through and pull up on y'all, like, because we don't like how y'all do things over there. Like, who is Canada? It's not Drake's place to tell us about this, bro. So I think that from that, like, I've always kind of frowned on that. At the same time, though, right? Like things that. So I was doing a little reading on this, and one of the first things, and a big thing that they've been really discussing about this is the rights of women. That's a big thing because with the United States, there, women were treated fairly equally, right? I don't know when I say fairly, I mean that they were able to go to school. They had some rights. You know, over in Afghanistan, if you were a woman out there and you have to be covered, if you're not covered, right, you are subject to be raped. You are subject to be kidnapped and then subsequently killed. All kidnapped, raped, killed. And this from a country whose principles are guided by Islamic, cultural belief. That's what's been going on for years. And I'm disgusted by that. But at the same time, though, it's like, what responsibility does the United States have, right, in that? Like, is that our place, right? So what I've been seeing is that leaders of the Taliban have been in their statements about them taking over is that, females, they are going to rule according to Islamic law, but females aren't going to be targets. Females will have some rights, not equal to men, but they won't be attacking people who the citizens. If you've helped the United States in the past, it's okay. We are not, nobody is going to be under attack. We are just here to claim government and that we are here to basically lead according to Islamic law, but that if we thought that you traded on us or you sold us out to work with it, we gonna let that slide. That's what they're saying. But the big deal is women's rights. Women have no rights over there. And according to Islamic law, they won't have any more. They'll never be equal. But is it our place to govern that though?
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. You have some people that believe we should be over there saving people and doing this and the other, and then it's a terrible place to be in, and it's the one of those things to where we're blessed to be here, and to be just arguing about a vaccine. We are blessed to have the, because we all know that the rights of Black and brown people and the rights of women, that stuff fluctuates and changes like the wind over here in the United States. So imagine that even further or even deeper in another country. So it's, the whole thing is sad. And again, I'm just grateful that I don't have to be a part of that and can do other things. Cause it's like, man, it's so unfortunate.
I think that what's interesting is that when people say, "Oh man, we did," because I thought the same thing. Like I thought that it looked like we just bailed out on them people, And I think that we told them, we gave them the heads up. And I think that most people believe, and there was all kind of intelligence that suggested that the minute the United States was getting on up out of there, Taliban would have that spot taken over with in weeks. And it just so happened to have happened faster than that. But the thing that, and you can't say the United States have committed billions of dollars, right, in aid, billions of dollars in training. So you've been training these people for 20 years to govern themselves, and you leave. Dr. Sit down. Ace, that's almost, I look at that almost like if you've been teaching your kids, right, how to cook, right, for years, and you've been cooking aside from them for years. You say, all right, listen, all I want you to do is watch the water, right? I'm gonna boil some water real quick. I'm gonna go check the mail. Come back. By the time you get back, the whole kitchen is burned off just from them watching the water, right? That's how it feels to me. Like it happened that fast, though, bro. And I feel terrible for the people, but it's just like, is it our place though to tell them how you should govern, right? We don't do it. There are other countries, right, who don't govern the court and whose countries and laws aren't how they are with the United States. But we don't invade everybody though, bro. So
here's the thing though. Anybody that's been in the military understands that things don't just happen overnight. It's not like these decisions were put into place and then bam, it had like the president said it today and then tomorrow we out. It doesn't work like that. This is something that's been in the plans for quite some time. And again, it's unfortunate. And like you said, for those people who are in fear of their lives that chose to just try to ride on the airplane to get out of there, terrible.
It's crazy. Ace Kennedy. One thing that is interesting though, man. I don't. Haiti just seems to not be able to catch a break, bro. Right? Because I remember back in 2010, Haiti had a massive earthquake. And I mean, they had a death toll that was ridiculously high. And then, just recently, their president assassinated. Now, Haiti, in the midst of trying to rebound for them, has another massive earthquake, death tolls through the roof already. And now they're trying to rescue effort, but they have tropical storm weather that's hindering the rescue efforts, though, bro. It's like, one thing I've never understood is that Haiti and Dominican Republic shares an island. And I never hear of Dominican Republic actually getting hit by the same earthquake. It seems to only, like, I don't know if it's something about the fault lines or whatever, but it seems to only impact Haiti though, bro. It's like, bruh, it's wild.
Yeah, it is truly unfortunate. And again, to not be in position to move away, to get away from it. It's almost like you just building up to prepare for something else like that to happen. It's definitely prayers going out to Haiti and just the rebuild, and it's crazy right now.
Yo, low key, man, I'm gonna be honest. Haiti doesn't get the kind of assistance worldwide because I think a lot of countries still have this issue with Haiti from being one of the first countries. I mean, first black enslaved lands to actually, fight back and get their independence. First one, right? I think that people still hold that against Haiti, though, bro. So, I mean, Haiti can't catch a break, and there's some strong people that always try to find a way to bounce back, though, man. So, It's interesting, man. What else we got, though, man? Oh, listen, man, you've been keeping up with these NBA trades, though, bro.
Yeah. Pat Bev just got bounced around again.
He getting that Ricky Rubio treatment.
No, I mean the fact that they actually the fact that a team wanted him, they traded to get him.
Wait a minute, who for who?
Okay, so he got traded to Memphis.
Yeah,
when they were doing the Eric Bledsoe deal, but then
he got traded again to the Wolves.
The Wolves traded for him. They gave up. I don't know who they gave up, but the fact that they actually wanted him, they went out and pursued him. I thought that was dope. So there is a market out there for him.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. I'm looking at their roster, though, bro. They got Karl Anthony Towns. They got D'Angelo Russell at guard. They got Rob. They got Ant-Man out there. They might be all right. Maybe they do need some OGs on their team, though, man.
It probably teach them some toughness because I mean, you remember that's what Jimmy Butler said their issue was they didn't know how to be tough.
See, when he say they, right? When you say they,
he's talking
to
about
me,
Cat.
I think he was talking about Cat, bro.
Yeah, but Cat, let's be real though. Like outside of basketball, Cat has had and
that was before this. That was before that, though.
No.
Called him soft before that.
No, I'm talking about no. Since Jimmy's been gone, there's been other stuff like the
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just saying Jimmy Butler called him soft before all that stuff happened, though, bro. That's the thing that's crazy. But I do think it's interesting though, man, because I think that this is what I'm wondering. All right, if you trade Pat Bev and Rondo, right? And you get what is it? So I told you before, right? When Eric Bledsoe was with the Bucks, I told you that the reason why the Bucks wasn't going to win when they had him was that you need him to score 20 in the playoffs. So he needs to average 20 a game.
Because right? I was riding for Clay Matthews or Wesley Matthews.
Yeah. And you was like, no, Wesley Matthews is the guy. I was like, no, Bledsoe is the guy who should be capable of scoring. He's going to have to be if he's going to be your third guy, he's going to have to be it. So lo and behold, they trade him, and then sure enough, they got a guy who could get in there and get you that 20, and they win. So I'm wondering, what is this going to do for the Clippers, though?
Nothing. But at the same time, Rondo wasn't doing nothing for him.
See, I think that they got Rondo I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they only got Rondo just to keep him away from the Lakers, bro.
I don't think no. That's probably true. But my thought process, they got Rondo because of what he did with the Lakers. That's why I thought they got him.
See, I think that this is the way, reading in between the lines, right? Right? The Lakers said, Rondo, we can't pay you what the Hawks is trying to get you. We can give you this veterans. We can give this veterans minimum. We can run it back. Rondo said, listen, I got to get this money. Hawks go ahead and toss him the money because the Hawks was like, listen, we need to have some veteran leadership on the team or whatever made sense. So they said, listen, Rondo, go on out there. And somewhere in between the seasons, we're going to try to go ahead and bring you back. We'll trade for you. And I think what happened, Ace Kennedy, is the Clippers tried to beat the Lakers to that move. And I think the Clippers traded for him just to keep him away from the Lakers because they brought him there and he hardly even played. And then when he did play, he kind of butted heads a little bit with Kawhi. Did you
That's
notice?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think the intent was to bring him because of the leadership he showed with the Lakers, right? Yes, they wanted to beat the Lakers and getting him, but I think that was because of the fact they were like, look, if he did all of that with the Lakers, he could do that same thing with us. And then, of course, like you said, he butted heads with Kawhi. That's why he sat on the bench because Kawhi got the power over
Did you notice, though, that all of the players who had issues with Kawhi and PG are no longer there?
Right.
That's crazy. Lou Will, gone. Pat Bev, gone. Trez Harrell, gone. Rondo had a problem, gone. Everybody gone. Now the Clippers don't have Zubac is the longest 10-year Clipper, and he's been there for 4 years. They don't have anybody who's been on the team longer than 3 years.
I mean, it could be a good thing. They saying, listen, we're gonna build around PG and Kawhi, and I like the fact that they brought back Reggie.
I do like that they brought back Reggie Jackson as well.
Yeah, and my thing is I don't even like Reggie Jackson. When he left the Thunder, I ain't like how he left the Thunder, so he was on my list.
I didn't have a problem with how he left the Thunder.
I did.
To be quite honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked him with the Thunder, but at some point though, bro, if you feel like if you feel like if you're Reggie Jackson that Russell Westbrook is your peer and that you're no longer his understudy, it's time to go. And I don't have any problem at all with
I don't have a problem with nobody betting on themselves. That's not, it's just the way he did it. There's a difference, right? Like when you talking trash about it, that's when I have the issue. But like I said, betting on yourself, nothing against that. Nothing against
that. Unless you doing it the Dennis Schroeder way. I don't bet on myself that way.
Man, listen, that dude caught a bad break. He had bad counsel, and he should fire all his agents. Period.
Yes. Let me ask. Did you see his girl trying to step up and come to his aid?
Man,
Though, bro?
what did you want her to do, bro?
Nothing. I don't want her to say nothing.
See, that's the thing.
Listen, no.
Listen. I like the fact that his girl was trying to encourage him because the reports were he was in a state of shock. I would want my girl to be right there for me.
Yes, I agree. But what is it? Nobody wants to hear from her publicly.
But that's the problem, though. He did. She wasn't doing it for nobody but him. She was trying to lift her man up. I am not.
I'm gonna get her out of here. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. Here's what's funny though. What I did laugh about, right? I laughed because he is German, right? Mm-hmm. And what I find to be funny is that everybody who I've ever known, my dad told me this to be true. He was like, "Oh yeah, man." He said over in Germany, he was like, he said white women in Germany love them some black men, and the darker ones, the better, right? And then mind you, I was looking like, okay, you know what? Now the funny thing about it is that his girl's American, but he did exactly the blueprint that I've always been told, right? Like my dad was like, oh man, he told me this story a long time ago. He was like, yeah, man, he was in Germany one time. He was at this little club or whatever. And you see this dude, he in there, he just getting all the girls getting the looks, he getting all the play. My dad looked at this dude, he was like, oh, this cat ain't fly as me. My dad's already dark, right? Dark skin. This dude is darker than my dad. He had to be African, right? My dad's telling me this though. And the girls is loving this dude because the darker the better though, bro. And Schroeder's wife looks like she could be German and he's the American, bro.
He's not. He's German.
But I know that, but I'm saying he fit that scenario where his wife looks like she could be German and he's the dark American, though, man.
Yeah. I mean, I get it
because Sonya just confirmed it, though, that the facts they do love the brothers, and I'm saying though, the darker the brother, the more they love him, though, bro. So, yeah. But I laughed when I saw that, but. Listen, I don't want to hear from Schroeder's wife, though, bro. Like, stop. I don't want to hear from Kim Kardashian about why Kanye West ain't drop an album. I don't want to hear from Lala why Carmelo Anthony scored 15 points in a game. Like, I don't want to hear from I love LeBron and his wife being together, but I don't want Savannah to tell me LeBron had a bad game and y'all should ease up off of him. No, I don't want to hear that. Get out my face.
Well, I like the fact that Nina stepped up to Stephen A. So I can't ride with you on that one.
Well, see, okay. So, but then to that point, right? Yes, I would.
And also too. You won't hear Kim Kardashian saying nothing about Kanye because they breaking up. So just wanted to throw that.
No. Because Kim Kardashian just recently said that Kanye West was good for her self-confidence. Basically, she said that part of her self-confidence that she has comes from Kanye, and that was recently, though, bro. Yeah. So I don't know, man, but like I get that you would say, "Oh yeah, stand by my man." Yeah, ride with me, right? But I don't need you to make any public statements on my behalf, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't.
You on your own with that one, brother. Like I said, if I get in some stuff, I want Mrs. Kennedy to have a press conference. I want her to step on this. I want her to be on the Slash Brothers podcast and telling y'all boys, y'all better get up off the male artist of the year. You gonna get up off of it.
Listen, man. I don't know, man. I don't listen. Listen. The day that I don't get a Grammy, that everybody knows, no, I'm not going to say that. The day that I get the Grammy and I perform, and let's say right after I perform, and I may stumble a few words and people ride me about it, I don't need to be like, yo, man, y'all better get up off my dude. He still won, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm going to say all of that either way, but don't. Like, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't want to hear it.
Listen, you ain't got to worry about the research department saying nothing because Lois going to do it for her.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing about it. Like, even with that said, though, right? I'm talking about just the featured artist. Like, even if she blows, right? If Neek blows, I would say if something like that, if somebody was if I felt like if it was being
doesn't
attacked,
matter what your name is.
listen, man, I would say something, but she does. I'm sure she wouldn't feel like she need me to come to her defense, right? I think she would have more than enough clever words to defend herself, and I don't feel any more differently about that than, let's say if Megan Thee Stallion, the Texas Treasure, who should be protected at all times, if something happens, right? I don't need for her new boyfriend to have to come and make a Twitter statement on her behalf about Tory Lanez. Like, she got that. Like, don't nobody want to hear from him. I want to hear from her, right? That's what I'm saying, though, bro. So I don't want to hear from ASAP Rocky. I want to hear from Rihanna, right? Just so I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm tripping though, man. Anywho, though, man. But I guess I do get your point though about. Oh no, I don't even agree. That puts you in a weird position. The Russell Westbrook thing, though, man. Golly. Anywho, though, man, I think a couple things that I didn't notice. We've been loosely following Britney Spears and the Free Britney. I saw that her dad formally is stepping down from her. What is it? Conservatorship. Conservation,
whatever he has, his guardianship. Yeah.
Yes. Listen, does this mean that you're gonna see more Britney?
I don't think so. I think this is gonna give her. I think this is just gonna give her the opportunity to decide what she wants. I don't think that's what that means. I just think that she can finally get the help that she probably needs. And get the people around her that she wants around her. That's what I think we're going to see.
What if Britney Spears go ahead and sign with Rock Nation and get Jay-Z as her manager, bro? I think that would be fire, dog. If Jay-Z got Britney Spears under Rock Nation, I think she would be back.
I think anybody who just genuinely has concern for her could help her. At one point, didn't she have a residency in Vegas?
Yeah, she was out there. She was one of the first ones to have a residency in Vegas. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the girl Britney says she out here posting the topless photos.
Listen, I'm out here looking on. Listen, I was like, no, I need some proof.
That girl Britney wilding already, right?
But I don't think that. Okay, I do see, and it wasn't like
it was.
Well, she got a couple of them though, bro. She said, listen, okay, in the picture, she says, I didn't get a boob job. And she said, I didn't get a boob job in just a week, nor am I pregnant. She said, I have boobs in these pics. And it looks like, she posted some, I don't know, maybe these are old pictures. I don't know. But it's weird though, man, because you know what, man, I don't know if I like her face in the picture. She looks like she needs some help. She's screaming for help, though, bro.
And I ain't gonna like I said. I'm happy one step at a time. She's from up under the rain. Let her get her team around her that she feels that can help her move in a positive direction. That's what I'm.
She still got 34 million followers, though, man. So people are checking for her,
bro. Yeah,
people are concerned for her, though, man. Golly.
Yeah. So I'm happy for that. Yeah.
Jeez. Hey, Skitty, man, we went through a whole bunch, though, man. It's an early week. What you got going on, man?
Listen, I've got some stuff going on with Britney Rowe that we are working through. Other than that, that's about it for right now. That's just the crux of it is me and her got some stuff going on that we're working towards. Of course, her and I will be preparing for our performances at the State Fair, which I do need to start promoting for that. I did talk to Brown. We started working on our new project that we're working on that we're getting ready for October release. So just getting things started, man. And then I'm gonna be basically running my computer all this week to make sure that it's completely up and running. And yeah, that's about it.
Hey man, we got to figure out a couple of things here on the Friday episode. One thing that we didn't talk about. What dang it? Oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh my God, On Friday, because it airs tomorrow, Draymond Green and Kevin Durant are having a sit down on Bleacher Report tomorrow. And it looks like, and it's going to be, it's no holds barred. They're not holding any punches. We got to talk about that. One thing that we also got to talk about is the NBA schedule. The early release schedule was announced. So they talked about Brooklyn. They talked about
the Lakers and Brooklyn.
The Lakers. We got to talk about that. People still getting paid out here because Joel Embiid just got the big contract.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart just got paid. So
I got to
touch base on that. Who that?
Kawhi.
Kawhi did get paid. Yeah.
Before we jump off, I do want to ask this because I don't want to wait till Friday to talk about this. Just real quick.
What's up?
What do you think? What do you get from the pictures of LeBron and Russ working out together?
So listen, this is what I think. I think that.
Well, first of all, before you answer that question, what was your thoughts on thinking whether their relationship can coexist on the court?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Okay, if LeBron then win next year with Russ, right? It's gonna tell me. I mean, it's gonna force me to rethink that when KD left and he said that no, I can't win with Russ. Maybe it was Russ couldn't win with KD though, bro. Right? And, you thought everybody always said KD couldn't win with Russ. Maybe Russ just couldn't win. That will be honest. That was my first thought. Was that maybe KD really was holding Russ back. But aside from that, though, bro, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, though, man. I just think that for Russ to be effective, while I know that he played off the ball a lot, for him to really do him, he needs to make it happen with the ball. So I wondered, with him and LeBron being kind of the same in that regards, how that would work out. So that was my concern. But as far as them working out and everything like that, that to me is very much the LeBron thing, right? It did, like, to me, I think LeBron, the one thing that I can say that I appreciate about LeBron is that I think that LeBron is a good steward of basketball, right? And when I say that, I mean, like, there's a reason why you never see LeBron jammed up. You ain't seeing him out here in these streets. You hear him talking interviews. He speaks to every reporter. He always has the right thing to say. And I think that doing the right things, that means something to LeBron. So embracing Russ in that regards, it was the right thing and the right message. And I think that LeBron is genuine. And that's what I appreciate the most about it. I don't think that it was just for show. I think that it's because it really is genuinely. Yes, he wants to win.
Both of them want to win.
Yes. So that's what
here's what I will say. I do know that they did, they're planning to do stuff. They know that they're sending a message. But the Christmas game between the Nets and the Lakers, barring injury, could be the preview of the finals, bro.
I can't wait. And listen, Brittany, bro, you have a good point. But what if it goes the other way? Well, listen, I've seen KD win a ring without Russ, and I've seen LeBron win a ring without Russ. So if it goes the other way, it's not as big of a deal. To me, the Lakers losing with Russ is nowhere near the indictment on the player.
It has to be why they lose. Because if Russ is out there doing his thing and the connectivity works and they just lose because they get outplayed by the Nets, it depends on how they lose. Because if they're out there and it's clearly the chemistry is not there because of how he plays and how LeBron plays, okay. But this is what I will say: if they do win, Britney Rowe is wearing a Russell Westbrook jersey in her next photo shoot.
Britney Rowe is just a Russell hater, bro. Like, I'm looking.
That's what I know.
She already just said some low. Like, listen, she was like, "Oh yeah, my partner who I know who played for them used to say that he was padding stats and blah 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 blah." She said she loved Westbrook, but she sounded like a Westbrook hater. Like I thought that Westbrook was like her, Tony Parker, or something.
She gonna do a whole photo shoot in a Russell Westbrook.
He's my favorite player, and said, "Listen."
She sounded like you and PG now. That's what she sounded like.
No, worse. But I think that at the end of the day, bro, I listen. I'm gonna be honest. I think that if Russ wins with LeBron,
we're going to have a whole bunch of
it's a whole different conversation, because I think that basically sets up a conversation for me to say between those two, maybe it wasn't Russ holding KD back. Maybe or both things can be true, that they were holding each other back though.
Right.
But to me, because KD has won the ring, and because Russ has put up and got the accolades, but no ring, it does keep it. It don't. It does.
This is why KD would have to win a ring in Brooklyn before I come to that conclusion. That's
no. I'm not talking about that. I guess what I'm saying is that, to me, the fact that Russ doesn't have the ring makes people feel some kind of way about his accolades, right? To me, I think on where the flip side of it is, regardless of how you hate the move that KD did, he got the rings and he got the awards, right? So that means something. So for somebody like me, it does mean something, right? And I'm just saying somebody like me. But I do think, though, that give Russ this ring, and the fact that, like I said, it's not just giving you a ring. If Russ contributes mightily, if Russ averages a triple-double in the finals,
listen, that's what I'm saying. I want to know. I want to know what the next line that they push. If Russ wins his ring, I need to know what he only won.
Nothing else. There's nothing else you can say.
I know that the commentators
because here's my thing. One championship ring doesn't diminish Dirk's greatness, right? One championship ring doesn't make him any less of a star,
right?
So I think that Russ to me would be in that same tier of players with Dirk, to me.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's get off here, bro.
And man, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook page. We are trying to find a permanent home here on a streaming platform. So any support you can give is always greatly appreciated. But every episode, we're live on both platforms. So be sure to check your boys and them out.
Hey, and anybody and everybody that watched, liked, commented, or whatever, shared, thank you.
And listen. Hold on. Okay, we gonna get it.
She always do that. We drop.
Yes, we slide now, and she would listen. Award, listen. Can we get some award-winning music out here? Hey, let me see the award one more time. Award-winning artists here. Listen, these boys is out here. Hold on. Let's get that music there, Cat Daddy.
Hey, hold on a second, brother. You gonna call me out like that?
Can we get the award-winning music on over here, bro?
Yeah, we can get it. I'm actually play it in the middle because I'm trying to get to all the parts. Let's see here.
What's up, DJ Gerbil?
Bro, you gonna put me on the spot?
I thought you just always have those ready.
When I got home, you were on my mind. Hope I see you again, you were on my mind. Told my boys you were on my mind.
Love. La mama in my ear and she's swearing on her words, telling me that she wanna take me back to the burb. She said she a freak when she gone on that Henny, plus a girl a freak too when she litty on that ring. So relax your mind and let your conscience rest. You're now rolling with the boys from that BOX. La mama, I can upgrade you a cheat code. Yes, I'm trying to make you my little Trinity, my Neo flex.